A very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to request Shri Rajiv Bansal, Joint Secretary, Meitei Government of India, New Delhi, to please come up on stage and take his place at the head table. I'd also like to invite on stage Mr. Ravi Gururaj, President, TiE Bangalore. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Krishnamurthy, Chairman, IESA. Request him to please come up on stage. And I'd like to request Mr. Ashwini Agarwal, Vice Chairman, IESA, to please come up on stage. A very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justin Jacob, and I'll be your MC for this event. On behalf of IESA, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you gathered here this fine morning, and welcome to the IESA Summit 2017. The theme of this year's summit is Design-Led Manufacturing, Redefining the Future of India's ESDM. At this conference, we bring you thought leaders from all verticals associated with the sector to discuss, debate, and to figure out ways to make IP happen in India. Today, we'll focus on design, and tomorrow, we'll focus on manufacturing. This is the 12th edition of the summit, and once again, we're glad that all of you could join us and be a part of the same. It's going to be an action-packed 2 days, so we hope you're ready to deep dive. So without further ado, I'd like to once again welcome you to the inaugural of Vision Summit 2017. On that note, I'd like to now request Mr. Krishnamurthy, Chairman IESA, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good morning to all of you. Respected Mr. Rajiv Bansal, Joint Secretary, Department of Electronics, Ministry of Electronics and IT. Mr. Ravi Gururaj, a live wire technologist and innovator in his own right. My colleague in IESA, Vice Chairman, Mr. Ashwini Agarwal. Our guests from all over the world. We have from Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, Singapore, Belgium, France, Scotland, and of course, USA. And my dear delegates from all over India. A hearty welcome to all of you on behalf of IESA to this Vision Summit 2017. It's a landmark event for all of us. More than 1,000 registered delegates, speakers from all over the world, from the west coast of US all the way to the far east. This is where the world of electronics meets. Every year, and this year is no different. In this room, we have thought leaders, business leaders, architects of systems and semiconductors, process specialists, designers, manufacturing fraternity from different parts of the world, all gathered in this room. This, I believe, reflects what India is today in the world of electronics. It is still a sunrise sector in a country which is growing at 7% every year, year on year. And the future certainly looks bright for all of us. After oil and gold, I think the third biggest import bill that India signs every year is for electronics. And the numbers up there tells you the figure, or tells you the story. $100 billion approximately this year, 16-17. Optimistically going up to $438 billion by early 2020s, almost a fourfold increase. And that's a staggering number. And if the oil prices were to stay flat as it is reasonably now in the last 1 year, then probably electronics will become the largest importer in India in about 3.5 years from now. And that's something which the Indian economy will struggle to sustain for a longer period of time. And that's the relevance of the theme for the conference, Design-Led Manufacturing. It's not necessary that, not sufficient that we somehow put together a decent value-added manufacturing industry in the country. At the moment, the value addition probably is about 10, 15%. Even if it goes to 30%, 40%, it's not probably sufficient. But if you want to take it to a much larger number, closer to 60, 70% of the import content, that's about 400 billion. And if you want to take it to close to 300 billion as manufactured in the country, what can sustain it is the design and IP ownership coming one after another from within India itself. But fortunately, in 16-17, there had been multiple growth agents which supported the initiatives of the industry. Number one, of course, is the manufacturing itself has been identified by the government of India as an area which should grow from 17% of the GDP to 25% of the GDP, which, if it happens, and we need to make it happen for sure, but if it happens, then that will be a major growth agent. Now, electronic systems, we have identified about 25 different focus sectors, systems, and products that goes into it, and there is a concentrated plan put forth by the government. Joint Secretary, Mr. Bansal, who is actively involved in this process, is here, and we are fortunate to have him for this inauguration. And we have definitely better and better processes being driven by the policymakers to do ease of business. Infrastructure, better infrastructure is in the making. And more importantly, the mindset of the younger generation is a major growth agent. People coming out of the colleges, out of the universities today are not looking for a job. They are looking for what can they do on their own. And that mindset is probably what is going to make all these attempts, make all these initiatives succeed. Because if we have to create products that are relevant to the country, to solve the problems that we have, then the solutions need to come from within the country. And who best can do it? Definitely the startups and the young bright minds. I think that's a major driver. I won't go into all the English that's there, but IESA have been working with the government of India and the state governments in policy formulation in different verticals, whether it is Department of Defense, Consumer Electronics, Department of Space, MSMEs, and directly working with the advisors to the government, and last but not even the planning agency, the Niti Aayog. We had excellent interactions, but not only policy formulation, we also work very closely with the policy implementation, again in different sectors, in both at the state and the central level. And one of the proof of that is the inauguration of the Electropreneur Park that we had earlier this year. So this is essentially a place where we incubate startups for 18 to 24 months, and it has been a big success, a lot of applications, and we have been able to get some very bright people to do brilliant, innovative products, and some of them are ready for the next stage funding going into product mode. The engagement in the state governments, as you can see, we are closely working, deeply associated with many states all over the country, and we also have driven the electronics manufacturing clusters initiative of the government of India, preparing the DPRs for the state, taking it back to the federal government, and making them understand the significance of those manufacturing clusters. Some of them are vertical specific, like defense electronics clusters, but they are all coming up in different parts of the country, and we are grateful to the government for all the support, and also we are happy that we were associated with these initiatives. Now, as I said, the success of all these policies, initiatives, all this work that we have been trying to put together depends on two aspects. One, how well the startups and incubation happen. So a lot of focus and initiative is on that. And the year ahead, we are definitely going to put a lot of effort and initiatives into skill development. So one of the major initiatives that we will be launching tomorrow is what we call NETRA, National ESDM Training and Research Academy, a virtual academy spread across the country, 12 states, 16 campuses, where we will have startups working out of the campuses. We will take the industry to the campus to incubate them, to mentor them, so that we get excellent products and solutions. And we did a pilot driven by Mr. Vivek Pawar, one of the executive council members in Hubli, a phenomenal success where we got something like 38 companies in a campus, all incubated within the campus, and some of them again are ready for the next level of funding and growth. So these initiatives, I hope, with the support of all the members, have been going on over the last couple of years, and I'm sure we will continue this with the support of all of you. But for that to succeed, the four major pillars need to come together. One, of course, the central government, the state government, the industry, and the academia. So our effort going forward is how to tie all this together properly and create the right infrastructure, whether it is chip design, whether it is system design, business development, market access, and whatever policy initiatives are required to make this happen. That's where IESA will be focusing on in the years to come. So with these little insight into the activities of IESA, I would like to extend a formal welcome to the chief guest of today, Mr. Rajiv Bensal, Joint Secretary, MeitY. MeitY stands for the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And he came down from Delhi yesterday to be with us here for the inauguration. A lot of policy initiatives. He is the one who works closely with us. The number of meetings we have attended with him, I think I have lost count. Maybe many dozens of meetings we have with him on each one of these initiatives. He has been a great supporter, and I request Mr. Anil, Executive Council Member and the Treasurer of IESA, to present a bouquet and welcome. So welcome you, sir, and most welcome, and thank you for being present here today evening. And the other guest today we have is Ravi. I don't think he needs an introduction. He is well known in the industry. He is the TIE specialist, the Indus Initiative Enterprises, one of the most successful entrepreneur that we have in this industry in our midst. And welcome you, Sir Ravi. And also to Ashwini Agarwal, who is the Vice Chairman of IESA, and he will be the incumbent chairman in the next year. And he represents Applied Materials, many years of experience, both of them, Ravi and Ashwini, and they have done things with their own hands, made them successful. And so we have a wealth of knowledge and wealth of experience in this room to talk to you in the next few minutes. Once again, hearty welcome to all of you, sir, and thank you for being present today. And last but not least, as I said, these kind of conferences are where we think, debate, discuss what can be done to take the electronics industry. What are the disabilities that this industry has today? How do we overcome that? What policy initiatives are required? What approach will work and what does not work? What are the learnings from some of the countries like Scotland, Japan, Taiwan, Israel? We have delegates from these countries also sharing their thoughts. And we have certainly delegates from US, France, Belgium, and all those countries. And I'm sure every one of them will be sharing their thoughts. And once again, a hearty welcome to all of you, all the delegates who are here from all the industry fraternity of IESA, and the guests who have come from different states representing the state governments. A hearty welcome to all of you once again. Thank you.
Before we move any further into this event, we'll now have the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, as it's customary here in India. I would like to invite onto the stage Mark Teo from Infineon Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big round of applause as I call them forward and request them to partake in the lighting of the lamp. Mr. Akihiko Okamoto, Managing Director, Screen HD Singapore. Mr. Scott Wilson, representing the Scottish Government. Suji Saka, General Manager, Semiconductors Equipment Association, Japan. Dr. Ron Black, President and CEO, Rambus. Ms. Bettina Weiss, Head, Semi-Global. Max Mirgoli, IMEC from Belgium. And I'd like to request the delegates on stage to please join them in lighting of the lamp. Sri Rajiv Bansal, Mr. Ravi Gururaj, Mr. Krishnamurthy, and Mr. Ashwini Agarwal. We have representatives from all the countries who are joining us here on stage and who will now partake in the lighting of the lamp. The ceremonial lighting of the lamp, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, which is customary here in India, symbolic of the transition from darkness into light. I'd like to thank Ms. Bettina Weiss and all the gentlemen. The official release of the IESA-EY ESDA Market Report by Sri Rajiv Bansal. We'd also like to request Sri Rajiv Bansal to release the IESA member directory. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the release of the IESA member directory by Sri Rajiv Bansal. released the Thai IESA IoT Directory. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the release of the Thai IESA IoT Directory.